welcome back to another video. As I promised, we will be discussing today the child care tax credit that was made a law under the American Rescue Plan by Biden government. If you're new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. With this channel, basically, I like to get as many as out there people educated when it comes to your business, tax, financial concept in general. So if you are up for it, please do like and subscribe, and we'll make sure this is worth your time. Let's get started with what we want to discuss today is the child tax credit under the Biden American Rescue Plan. It's apparently, I can see why everybody's interested in it. It's quite exciting. It's definitely something a lot of people can utilize and take advantage of. That being said, now this credit, be very sure, is just for the year 2021. It is not retroactive, and neither as of right now there's any provision of it to go, kind of to continue. So this will, unless something specific is done, this applies only to 2021. The reason I'm saying that is it's easy to get addicted to, some good news or, and we just think that's going to continue. It's not. So be very aware. It is not something you will get on an ongoing basis, as at least where it stands today. Let's go into the details. So it's kind of like has a bunch of moving parts. So if you have any questions after you're done seeing the video, please do put them in the comment section. I will reply to those. Meanwhile, here we go. What we're talking about is a child tax credit, which usually has been worth $2,000 for your kids that you take dependent on your tax return, $2,000 for married filing joint up to the income AGI of $400,000. There's like a phase off of whatever, but basically that's what historically has been the case. Now, just for the year 2021, what this is going to do is raise the $2,000 to $3,000 for kids 6 and over, and $3,600 for the kids under the age of 6. So there's about a $600 difference right there between the two age groups. Most interesting fact here is it is 100% refundable credit, which was not the case before under the regular tax credit. You kind of get a partial credit for it if there is the way the numbers work, but this is 100% refundable credit, which basically, it's double the reason, I guess, to be excited about this credit, because it kind of something that keeps on giving. How this works. I know there's a lot of confusion because they do talk about being a monthly, this is being a monthly payment. IRS has still yet to come out with exact guidance how this will happen, because sending out monthly payments is not an easy task if you can, at the scale that we're talking about here. So this may become a quarterly issue. They will start in July. So at the end of the day, we're looking at maybe, 2 payments. If they were to do quarterly, they may do every 2 weeks. They may actually end up doing monthly. But the guidance on that is yet to come out as to how they'll actually end up doing it. Essentially, what is going to happen is it is a 2-part credit, in a sense that half of it is going to come in terms of your monthly credits, and the other half you will be able to claim it on your tax return 2021 when you file it in 2022. So not the whole thing is going to come in one go. You do have an option where you could just totally opt out and say, you know what, I don't bother with the monthly payments. I can just claim the whole thing on my tax return when I file it. On the other hand, you cannot claim everything in monthly installments. You can delay the monthly installments and just claim it on the return. So it will just, all those things still have to be figured out. There will be a portal that which is something, like a platform where you should be able to go and kind of make your options, check your status on this monthly payment. But all of that is not going to happen before July. The interesting concept there is that if Now, this is based on the child credit is going to be based on the income. So if your income in 2019 was on the higher end, but did take a big turn in 2020, you may want to, assuming you haven't filed it, may want to get this 2020 return before they start sending out these payments sometime in July. So you would want your tax return to be done before July so that they can issue this based on your updated taxable numbers. Because if your 2020 is not filed, they will go back to what they can find on you, most likely a 2019 return. And if that has an income much higher than what your 2020 is, you may be losing out, at least on the current aspect of it. All of it, I'm sure, just like stimulus, you will be able to adjust on your tax return come 2022. But if this is something you would want to take care of immediately and actually have those monthly or every 2 months or a quarterly system going on at the correct rate, you want to make sure that your tax return is on record with the IRS before July. Let me kind of go into details of how this works. As I said earlier, the 2000 was anyways based off of married filing joint income of $400,000 or less and single at $200,000. Now, that kind of still remains true. Basically, if I'm not, I hope I don't confuse you, because what's going to happen is the first 2000 remains intact irrespective of how it used to happen before. It's the other balance, the $1,600 if your child is under 6 years, or the $1,000 if they're above 6 years, is going to be dependent on where you stand with your AGI. At the end of the day, the income limits on that extra amount that is being given out in child credit is different from the original amounts. So basically for single, it's $75,000 AGI, head of household, $112,500, and married filing joint, AGI being $150 or less. Now, it is a phase out. At the end of the day, you're looking at 5 cents for every extra dollar earned, or 5%. So let's say you are married filing joint and you do have 2 kids. One is above the age of 6, the other one is under the age of 6. So you are essentially looking at about $2,600 extra coming in, $1,600 for the one under the 6 and $1,000 for the one over 6. Every extra dollar that you make over $150,000, the additional amount is decreased by 5 cents, or you could say like about 5%. So to make things simpler from a math perspective, and again, this is AGI, so they will cut, it's all your income combined after your deduction, whether it's standard or itemized. That's the number we're talking about, not your gross. So at the end of the day, what it comes down to in the easiest sense you could say is an extra $10,000 over $150,000. So every $10,000 more than the base amount of $150, you kind of lose out about $500 on this credit. So I hope that makes sense what I'm trying to say. If you, again, like I said, if you have any questions, question below and I will answer those. So at the end of the day, this is something that they plan to do in 2 phases. If you are someone who, let's say, will qualify for the entire amount, you have 2 kids, we're looking at $3,600 for one and $3,000 for the other. Do expect that about $1,800 is what, in the perfect world, you'll end up getting in your monthly or quarterly, however they decide, payments, the $1,800 for one and the $1,500 for the other, while the rest, the other $1,800 for one child and the other $1,000 or $1,500 for the other child, will be you will be able to claim on your tax return. So it's not something, so if you don't panic if you're not getting what may end up being it would not end up being $3,600 by the end of December, because it is not supposed to work like that. It's a 50-50 thing. Like I said, there would be a portal. I don't see anything coming up and running before July, because that's the time, and I don't see a government kind of coming up and saying, hey, we under promise over deliver. That usually is not the case. So nothing, I don't think, is happening before July, but when that comes, there will be a portal where you will be able to most likely go in and make your options. The easiest one being, do you want the monthly payments, or you rather just claim the entire thing on your tax return? Now let's see what happens. Yes, I did have a question from a client on this one, so I thought I might as well put it right here. The kids that are born in 2021, you had a child, just like the stimulus, the government, even if you file a return as of January, for 2020 till July, you do not get to claim the child in that tax return. Though you're leaving $3,600 on the table. So this is where the portal hopefully will come handy, where you will be able to go and adjust the new child in the family, or you could just wait for the tax return to file and then kind of claim the credit there. The best part of it, like I said, is that this is 100% refundable. There were a decent amount of people who used to lose kind of like some portion of this because it was not fully refundable. This one is fully refundable. So if the credit, let's say between two kids, we are looking at $6,600, and your tax liability stands at $5,000, you will get the $1,600 as a refund, and not something that'll just even it out and be, like you don't get anything. So this is definitely a great one to have. I think that's pretty much what I would like to cover in terms of this part of it. Like I said, if you have any questions, put them in the comment section below. I will get to those. Hopefully this was something that you were kind of looking for your answers and you got them. I do like to end my videos on a positive quote, and if you've been following me lately on tax quotes or tax memes, because we are in the tax season. So that being said, I found a meme. I'm a big meme person. So here's the meme for the tax. A fine is a tax for doing wrong. A tax is a fine for doing well. With that, you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next video, and take care.